Press the button.
Okay, we should be live plus delay.
Hooray! Life plus delay. All right, so we have casters. That's what we have. We have casters here. Hey, I'm Groshkin. That's
Bodrum, I guess.
It's like I'm gonna screw it up again.
It's getting complicated.
It's so difficult. It's like when I switch alts so that I can actually have detects instead of drinking 3 eggs worth of potions just to cast a match.
Right.
But we are your casters, and we have teams up already. Isn't that wonderful?
Yep, and odds are up 2-1 in favor of Card Sharks, and it is Card Sharks versus Stars.
Stars has a good lineup here. Grumpf, Kempaz, Istatsen, Evalia. I mean, I think that's about as solid as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And then up against the default Card Sharks team, Marilyn, Slan, Tiercel, Grindel. I mean, I think it should actually be a decent match, depending on like how some shit happens. You know, there's always the chance that somebody just like dies outright, and then you're like, oh well.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm glad to see this lineup out of Stars. I know there's like a constant debate going on like Evalia versus Macus for number 4, and I think Macus is on too, so it looks like they're changing it up a bit. So yeah, I'm excited to see this lineup, but Card Sharks also has like, this is their A lineup. When they don't have Marilith, it's not their A lineup. When they don't have Tercel, it's not their A lineup. So they have the lineup to win also. So this might be pretty one-sided, but could go crazy.
I don't think, well, I mean, let me be clear. I don't think Stars have a reasonable chance to win, but I do think they have a chance to at least make it an interesting match. The Meteo Cone spam is just like, is really hard to push through. So I think it'll at least make things interesting for a while.
Yeah. It's a very good point.
And I mean, good weapon tosses on the right people at the right times can help reduce that incoming damage. So I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility for Stars to win by any means. But I don't want to make it sound like I think Stars is going to win just because they actually are going to make a good fight out of it.
Yeah, that's fair, and I think it will be a good fight. So I'm really hoping to see how it plays out. But like these like assassin scald matchups where you have a scald group healing along with an assassin who just support heals. It's just, there's gonna be a lot of healing against those Meteos, and that's gonna be tough. Like Stars has the healing as well, but it's just not gonna go as far. But in that sense, their lineups are actually kind of similar. Like if you were to, Evalia and Tercel being the bard type, they both have their assassin. Kimpaz and Grendel are like the damage dealers, and then you have Marilith, Grumpf playing slightly different roles but similar.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit all your necessary buttons for a meta ACFL team on both sides.
Except for my team and your team, where you run in with like 4 giant ogres and I run in with a bunch of pixies. Otherwise, very standard lineups.
I mean, well, to be fair to me, I only run in with 4 giant ogres because I can't run in with 5.
Ha. That'd be a fun handicap system. Like, eventually, if you're just like losing far enough, they start handicapping you 1 extra player. I'd be curious to see how that plays out. Ooh, I'm suggesting a new rule for next season. Let's do that.
New rules, handicaps.
Any team that's 5 wins behind their opponent gets an extra player.
That actually,
it would do weird things, but it would still be kind of interesting.
Like, I'm trying to think, like, what kind of handicap could you... I don't actually think it's a good idea, but I'm just, like, trying to think of how you could do it where it's not, like, totally lopsided, but still, like... I don't know.
Yeah, we should experiment with that. We should We should brainstorm with that over the season to come up with anything for next season. Because yeah, I think it'd be actually. You're making a good point. I think if we had some sort of like handicap system, it'd be pretty interesting.
No, don't blame that on me. I don't actually think a handicap system is a good idea. I think it's an interesting idea. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea.
That's
like I just kind of like I'm just kind of like trying to think about it a little bit, but I don't think I would ever actually vote to approve it.
That's understandable.
It's just like as a mind game. I think it's maybe interesting.
I like to see the world burn.
I mean, you could always do just like take the home field advantage away from just being default to the home team and just give it to whichever team has a lower thing, and that would be like a very minor kind of little handicap.
Yeah. I mean, the big issue there, like, it's interesting in the playoffs for sure, but like if your team is 0-7, like being able to swap someone out last minute is probably not the thing that's going to help at all.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I don't necessarily want to be like where you give a team a handicap and then they still get rolled at the end of the season, but it kind of like screws up the other standings where they get a chance to like take games off of people that they might not have been able to otherwise. Like if you take the last place team and you give them this big handicap and they're still getting crushed by the number one team, but then like it can mess up the middle standings a little bit if they can like manage to win with the handicap against some of the middle teams, but not the other middle teams. And then I don't know.
For sure. All right, match should be. I didn't see it. There it is. 30 seconds. Let's see. How will it start?
Thank God I don't have to fill time anymore. Oh, I should actually set the teams.
Oh yeah, you got the fancy map.
I got the fancy map.
Well, since I'm streaming too, at least maybe you could run off and prep or are you done with all your prep for your match?
Yeah, we're done with prep for the match. We're just kind of.
I'm always flipping out to the last second. All right, match has started.
Oh no! Why is it not?
Everyone has summoned the things, and nothing has turned on anybody. Egg Golem is geared for stars. There's an earth and an air elemental in the match. Air is Merilith's, earth is Grumpf's.
Hadouken on Slan. Hadouken on Grindel. Hadouken on Merilith.
Holy Flame is doing like injures. Do you consider that Hadouken?
Yes. Yes, I do. Dotson is taking tons of damage. Like ridiculous amounts of damage right now. How is he only in yellow? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that was a lot. I just turned off weapon flag so I could see.
Medio. Cone Medio. Slan takes a dispel and maybe not big damage off of that. Because they're okay, there we go. There's Cone. Yeah, dragon skins and fire resist naturally. But still, the Medio and Cone spam is doing a lot of damage. There's an Annihilates off the Cone of Cold. It's failed resist.
Ooh.
So, see, things are getting interesting here. Kimpaz is in red now. He just dips in.
Ooh, that's really, like, that damage onto KCS was huge, but it's still pretty huge.
Merilith is dipping into red. Everybody else is yellow, yellow. So maybe I underestimated the overpowering damage, but I figured Merilith would get the Holy Smite off, but it may have failed, right? Because Merilith does have it, right?
He does. I missed it as well, though. There's a lot of damage going out, but I'm also very impressed with how much damage Stars put out.
Yeah, Slan and Tiersel, both in red.
Grump the entire Medio like he should. One Medio just did like 130 damage to Merilith, and Merilith is already in red, so that's a big deal. Kimpaz is down though.
and his Dodson is in red and getting power swung. But I mean, the entire KCS team is in red as well, except for Grendel.
But Kimpaz did what he wanted to do. He likes
burn all
dying
that
early.
Yeah, yeah. You burn all that mana and then come back in fresh.
And it looks like, KCS hasn't picked up the flag. Tersel's in the flag room now, though.
Slan is wimping off of cost fats from Avalia. Marilith picks up the flag. I mean, like I said, Stars putting up a good show so far.
Yeah, Statson's in their flag room. Grendel is there as well. And he's hurting Statson. Grendel's actually healed up quite a bit, too. I feel like he dipped in red for a second.
Power swings are painful, man.
Yeah, there isn't much of a melee fight between the assassin and the barbarian.
I'm wondering, why is he getting singled out like this? Like, where is he? What is he doing that he's getting singled out?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very confused.
He could just be... I don't know what he's doing.
And he goes down. His Dotson goes down. Slan gets a dispel, but I don't know why anybody's trying to dispel him right now. He's not taking any damage.
Yeah. Like, in general, Marilith has the flag. Avalia did get stuck on Marilith, so... Yeah, actually, they're still at the 20-yard line, so... Avalia is slowing Marilith down a little bit. Avalia just wimpied, though, which might have been unintentional. I assume Avalia was on Marilith not wanting to wimpy.
Grumph is getting beat on now. Marilith still has that flag halfway across the field.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be tough. KCS is probably going to be all in white by the time Kimpaz is back out.
But they won't have the mana for the to withstand another round of crazy AoE damage.
Yeah, but I don't think this is kind of how it's played out in most Stars losses. Kimpaz will be back to do AoE damage. It does not look like Grumph is going to make it back to do that.
Yeah, they're going to try and whittle him down and then keep him choked, which usually isn't that hard to do to Grumph. He's going to start throwing out some more Meteos. Marilith does score capture.
Now, Grumph is Meteoing in his flag room, so theoretically he might delay the second pickup.
Well, that's fantastic, because he can, if he, nope, he wimpied, or he fled. If he could just, turn Wimpy off and sit in the flag room, he can force them to kill him by keeping in combat. Tyr still does pick up the flag, though, so that plan's kind of out the window.
Yeah, I'm noting a lot. I'm having a little bit of a hard time figuring out what the current Stars players are trying to do. It looked like they may have been trying to stop a pickup, but they didn't. And then they were wimping, so I don't know if they were... Because they were taking a lot of damage and not doing any in return. So I don't know if they were trying to suicide and they're not suiciding. At this point, the suicide is kind of late.
Yeah, see, and there's... at this point, I feel like they should just go ahead and kill Grumph. I think I would choke him.
Kimpaz is out, though. He must have had a really nice death tick here, because this felt like it was super fast. So he's already out again.
Yeah. And there's, see, we're going to get the Meteos, and, man, some nice Meteos, too. And here come the cones.
Yep, this is good. This is good. I mean, for Stars.
E-Drain onto Kimpaz is bad.
Ooh.
Right at full mana, too.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit of a death sentence right there.
And they are rescuing Tyrsel across right now for that second capture. But Kimpaz is chasing with the chains. He is AMS'd, though.
He is not.
I'm sorry, not AMS'd. Avelia with a smart pickup.
Yeah.
Just to delay. They're going to get on her and kill her pretty quick, probably. But I mean, I think it was.
Yeah.
It forces them to kill her.
I mean, it does suck that they bumped into her right next to the flag room, but yeah.
Yeah. And there's the pickup or the capture. Merilith is in place for the rotate, and has it now.
Yeah, like as soon as the fight gets to this point, it just feels like pinball. Like I see Kimpaz and Grumpf running around. Statsson's out now. He's going to be running around, but basically they're just going to get knocked around by KCS.
Statsson chokes Merilith to slow things down. That's fantastic.
A perfect start. Statsson is now choked.
Let's see. Grindel is going back to dual wielding, which I find interesting. Because now he tried to bash, which you never bash. Why does nobody listen to me? Never, ever, ever bash anything, ever. It's a terrible idea.
Well, it doesn't seem like anyone's hitting him. Ooh.
Now they're hitting him. They're hitting him. And he's disarmed. Completely disarmed. Grumpf picks up the flag, which will force them to come to him, and that's good.
Statsson's down.
But yeah, Statsson dying, like he didn't do anything. Like he got that choke off, but then I feel like he's picking fights when he doesn't need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if there was, again, they're almost less than a tick away from a loss, so there might have just been like, go all out on their flag carrier and see what he can do. If someone were to die stupidly right now, it's not like it's that stupid considering the match might be over very shortly.
And Grumpf goes down. So that pretty much spells the end of this. Kimpaz is the final hope, but they have...
And he got E-drained earlier, so...
Oh, that's what happened. Kimpaz was non-detect, and he disconnected.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I just saw him reconnect, non-detect. So that's why we haven't seen anything from him.
He is now on... Wow, how is Merilith getting like a 7-hit round? Merilith is about 4 rooms away, so as soon as Kimpaz is kicked out of the way here... There it is.
That's unfortunate, because it looked like Kimpaz and Grumpf were going to be able to do a strong push together, and then Kimpaz losing Link really just kind of... That's a punch in the gut if you're Stars.
I mean, it's the E-Drain hit before that, and I assume that's no help. But yeah, it's that doesn't help at all.
And that's it. 3-0.
It was a good match.
We get to see lots and lots of Medio, which is always a pleasure for me.
All right, next match is at New Thelos. You have to go, and I might be getting a different co-caster, so I might shut down for a second, and we will regroup.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you for joining us, audience, and thanks for Phil for being here, and we'll see you all later.
You're welcome.